the British aristocrat accused of murdering his nanny and also his wife. 2024 marks 40 years since the incident and his disappearance, and to date, his body has never been found. Let's talk about it. Richard John Bingham, 7th Earl of Lucan, was a British peer and Anglo-Irish aristocrat. He was married to the late Victoria Mary Bingham née Duncan, also known as Lady Lucan. The couple had 3 children, including the current 8th Earl, who, through paternal line, is third cousins to the late Diana, Princess of Wales. So how did we get here? Pictured here is Lord and Lady Lucan, Sandra Rivet, who was the nanny, as well as her son. There is a really good documentary, Lord Lucan, My Husband, the Truth, on Amazon. I highly recommend you watch it. The account is given by his wife, or late wife, Lady Lucan. There is a lot of drama in the backstory of this couple, so if you would like a separate video divulging that information, trust me, it is well worth it. Let me know. I'm just going to talk about this incident. Pictured here is nanny Sandra Rivet. At the time of her death, she was 29 years old and had 1 son, in whom her parents had adopted in 1965. On November 7th, 1974, around 9 p.m., Sandra entered the basement of Lord and Lady Lucan's home and unfortunately never came out. The reason for her going into the basement was to make a cup of tea for Lady Lucan. They had a basement kitchen. She was bludgeoned to death and her body was placed into a canvas mailbag. Lady Lucan, concerned for the delay, decided to go see what was going on. She called to Rivet at the top of the stairs and then she was attacked as well. During the attack, she was told to shut up, and that is when she recognized the voice of her attacker. She claimed it was Lord Lucan, her husband. The two continued to fight. She bit his fingers. He threw her down to the carpet, and when she asked where Rivet was, he explained he had offed her. She was able to cleverly escape, running into a nearby pub, the Plumber's Arms. I wonder if this is still open. If anybody knows, comment that below. According to statements taken by people in the Plumber's Arms at that point, a woman ran in around 10 p.m. bleeding, screaming for help. An eyewitness said Lady Lucan said the following, and I quote, help me, she said. I have just escaped from a murderer. He's in my house. He's murdered my nanny." Following police arriving at the scene, they found the body of Miss Rivet. However, Lord Lucan was gone. At the time of the incident, Lord Lucan was 39 years old. 3 days later, on November 10th, the car he borrowed was found in New Haven, East Sussex, which is on the southern English coast. In the car, there were bloodstains. There was a piece of lead pipe in the trunk. Didn't look good. This woman pictured right here is Susan Maxwell Scott, who was a friend to Lord Lucan, and also the last person to ever see him, alive at least. He drove 42 miles to her house and told her that he thinks, or his wife accused him of hiring a killer, and he was going to pretty much lay low. Susan also said that he called his mother and wrote several letters. She said she didn't call the police because she didn't know he was a wanted man. Lady Lucan maintained that he had intended to off her, and unfortunately, Rivet was the victim. There have been many inquests in order to try to find the body of Lord Lucan, or Lord Lucan himself. 2 years after her husband was legally pronounced dead, Lady Lucan took her own life. This was due to believing she was suffering from Parkinson's disease. At the time of her death, she and her family, or her children at least, were not on speaking terms, going as far as to cut them out of the will. Her son, Lord Lucan, applauded his mother's decision to bequeath her estate to a homeless charity while his father's belongings were going to auction. And I quote, "I applaud the decision by my mother to make a legacy to shelter a fantastic and worthwhile charity. I would also like to note that the property in which Lady Lucan lived in Belgravia was made available to her rent-free for the latter part of her life under an arrangement with the family trust and does not form part of her personal estate." Got her. He also added, "We felt it was the least we could do even though Lady Lucan wanted no contact with us." During the latter part of, or as they grew up, the children started to question the validity of their mother's story, which more than likely led to her probably cutting them off. I highly encourage you all to watch the documentary. It's on Amazon Prime. And as you go through this story, you can start to find holes here or there that's kind of not making sense. Comment your thoughts below. Would you like a backstory of Lord and Lady Lucan? And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please repost this video. I would really appreciate that. Mwah. Bye.